WFAN Radio reporting this morning. Browns-Vikings in discussion on a trade that would send OBJ to the Vikings for a couple of picks next year. Trade's not done. Deal has been discussed. Now, OBJ is a very interesting player. Remember in New York? Oh, he's not going to get traded. We are not trading him. They squashed all the rumors. He got traded. OBJ's got big boy agents working for him. There's a lot of misinformation on the market with OBJ. I will say this funny OBJ story. I've never thought he fit in Cleveland. He partied in Paris. He has a house in Bel Air in Hollywood in Los Angeles, either both or one. And he lived in New York. Cleveland's not his vibe, and I never thought it fit. About 3 or 4 days ago, could have been longer, I had a discussion with one of my bosses. There was a dog in his yard. He didn't know whose dog it was. Moments later, OBJ walked into his yard. Hey, there's my dog. There's my OBJ local L.A. story. He's an L.A. guy. He's a New York guy. He's a party in Paris guy. Doesn't fit in Cleveland. This is great for OBJ. It's great for everybody. But OBJ played nice. He's an icon. LeBron's an icon. He left Cleveland twice. This is not a good fit for him. It's the supermodel marries a plumber, and the plumber has to overcompensate, feels desperate and clingy, and at some point the supermodel's like, you're wearing me out, give me space. Cleveland has overcompensated day one for OBJ. Baker Mayfield's stats when he tries to throw to OBJ are dreadful. Why? Because he's throwing to him when he's not open. He's trying to make it work because Baker Mayfield knows that OBJ is an icon and an all-time talent, and it's not a great fit. They've been overcompensating in Cleveland day one. This is great for OBJ. He's not a kid that deals with chaos. He was never a problem at LSU. He was never a problem in New York. Then New York got rid of Tom Coughlin. Chaos entered the building, and he struggled with it. I talked to him about this one time for a half hour. We talked. FaceTime. And then he goes to Cleveland. Chaos. Cleveland was never a good fit for his personality. Minnesota's a great fit. Winning culture, great front office, lots of stability, veteran head coach, a quarterback that's been in the league that gets the ball out in time. They wouldn't depend on him. They've got a good running back in Delvin Cook. They've got Adam Thielen. They've got 2 good tight ends. They've upgraded their offensive line. He would work right in, no chaos, grown-ups in the building, in a division where Green Bay is really good and Minnesota. Remember, the Vikings are in a Super Bowl window. One playmaker for them can make the difference. Cleveland's not in a Super Bowl window. Cleveland's window is, we got to get this Baker Mayfield thing right. We got to make this kid work. And this is great for Cleveland. This is not bad for Cleveland. It's great for Cleveland. When you're in a relationship and you're desperately trying to make it work, that's not a good relationship. You cannot have an uneven relationship. Boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, team player, it doesn't work. OBJ doesn't fit Cleveland. And Cleveland has been overcompensating day one. Baker Mayfield's got plenty of weapons. They got to get this kid right. Now, Baker drives me nuts, but he is an NFL quarterback, and he's good for the league. He's polarizing. He's controversial. He's good for the league. Baker is good for the league. His personality would drive me nuts. But he's good for the league, and he is a franchise quarterback. And I know, Cleveland, you think I'm nuts on this. This is a great potential trade for Cleveland. Remember, you told me John Dorsey was great. I said he wouldn't last long. I was right. You told me Freddie Kitchens was going to work. I told you it wasn't going to work. I was right. You said Baker's absolutely a number one pick. I said, no, he's not. He's a franchise quarterback. He's not a number one pick. He's not. I was right. So I've been nothing but right. You've been nothing but wrong. This is great for Cleveland. This is great for Cleveland. They just picked up in free agency a very good tight end, Austin Hooper. Now they have David Njoku and Austin Hooper, 2 excellent tight ends. Probably the best 2 tight end group in the league. They have 2 really good running backs. They have Jarvis Landry's a star receiver. And it's the deepest wide receiver draft in years. After they get a tackle with their first pick, go draft receivers and 1 linebacker. This has never been a healthy relationship. It has always been unbalanced. Icon and dumpster fire, full of chaos. Now, I do think Cleveland just hired Kevin Stefanski. I think he's the right coach. I think he's going to work. I think he's going to add stability. I really, really like their roster when they get left tackle solved. But I have been saying this now. This is the ultimate Colin was right. I have been saying this now for Joy as my witness for a year. It doesn't fit. It doesn't work. Cleveland's trying to wedge it in. Everybody's overcompensating. Anytime OBJ has a drop pass, it's my fault. The weather was bad. You're overcompensating. Let's get him to Minnesota. So OBJ wins because he gets structure and he flourishes with it. Minnesota wins because they're in a Super Bowl window. They need another playmaker, potentially. And Cleveland wins because they got to get Baker Mayfield right, and he's not good with OBJ. He thinks he is. He's not. He thinks a lot of things. He's done a lot of things he thinks are right. Calling out the medical staff. They're not. Baker, trust me, you had your birthday yesterday. This is your birthday present. It was Baker Mayfield's birthday yesterday. This is his present. You got Njoku, Austin Hooper, two good backs. You're going to have a new left tackle. You've got a right tackle. You got Jarvis Landry. You'll draft another wide receiver. I mean, it's literally lining up perfect for Cleveland. It's perfect. They're going to get a couple of picks next year if this thing goes through. Now, according to the report, the deal is not done. And that's fine. It may not happen. But don't tell me, well, everybody is saying, Jay Glazer this morning, he has big news tonight. Jay Glazer this morning, big news, said this is not the news, it's something else. But he didn't say it couldn't happen. And I think it should happen. And happy birthday to Baker Mayfield. A day after your birthday, this is potentially, you don't get it yet. You don't get it yet. It's almost like when you were a little kid and maybe you had a real serious parent. And, you wanted a toy truck or you wanted a cool toy and your parents got you a winter jacket and you're like 11 years old and you're like, that's a terrible birthday present. And then on a really cold day, you wore the jacket and that was the best present you ever had. You're a little kid, you want something fun. Your parents didn't get you something fun for your birthday. They got you something responsible. And then later on, you're like, boy, that's a good present. Boy, I needed that winter jacket. That's OBJ getting traded your winter jacket, Baker. I know there's a lot of cool things you probably want. This is it. Good for OBJ, good for Minnesota, and good for the Cleveland Browns and Baker Mayfield. If it happens. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.